Hello and welcome to our Chameleon 20 video on using the file manager. Today we're going to go over some basics of the file manager, what it is, what it does, the different things you can do with files, things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. As you might know from other devices that you use, a file manager is what allows you to browse, delete, move, and do other things with files or folders that are on your device. To open the file manager, we have to first be in our main menu, which I am, and I can do this one of two ways. I can either look for the file manager using our thumb keys, or I can press the letter F for file manager. Hint, pressing the F is faster. So now I have file manager displayed on my Chameleon display, and in order to open that, I press enter, which is the .8, of course. So the file manager will open to the place that you were last. So if the folder you were in last was, a book or a file, something that the last thing that you were in, it will jump to that right away. So I am on a folder called Books. And what's interesting about this is you have a full 8 cell, or full, I guess that's 1 through 8 in a full cell on the very left of your display. That indicates that what you're looking at is a folder. You can navigate folders or things in this drive by using your next and previous thumb keys. So I hit the next thumb key and I'm focused on the Documents folder. And here's the Online Books folder, and so on and so forth. So you can also use first letter navigation here. So I'm just going to press B to go to my next thing. This is the B. One of them is going to be back. And I press it again, and I'm on the Books folder. So anyway, that's how you get to the folders. And so you would, of course, open that with an enter or .8. And now I'm focused on a file. The file is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the one we've been using pretty consistently through this series. I want to show you another thing. You can find information about a file or a folder very easily. You can press space plus the letter I, and it will display information for you. It'll say name, and you would use your panning keys to navigate that information. You would use your next thumb key to find the next piece of information it has for you. Path, and then it has type, a folder type of what type of file it is, or folder, or whatever it is. And then it has your size, other things like that that are in here. To get out of that, I just am going to press a space plus E for just escape. And now I'm focused back on that actual file, not the information. You can really quickly find where am I. And that's like asking what the file path of this file is, like what drive it's on, things like that. To do that, you're going to press a space and a WH sign, which is dots 1, 5, and 6. Okay, and now it says Harry Potter, and it's telling me, it's giving me the file path, and it's giving me an option to go back. And here we are again. So that's important to know as well. You might also need to know how to select a drive. And while we're talking about it, there's a difference between the different kinds of drives. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to press a space with the letter D, which is 1, 4, and 5. And my display says right now, it says storage. The storage drive is your actual Chameleon, the internal storage of the device. If I press a next thumb key, it will say SD card. The SD card is present, is only displays if there's an SD card inserted in your unit, and there is one. If I had a USB inserted in my unit, another option would show up called USB, but as it is, it says close, my close app. But so I'm going to go back to my storage drive and press enter, and here I am on my Books folder again. So it's pretty easy to switch drives if you have something on your SD card or that you want to retrieve, or something on a USB that you want to retrieve. That's actually quite easy. You can also, another interesting thing is that you can search for files and folders. If you know that you have an English assignment on your Chameleon, but you can't remember where you saved it, or you accidentally saved it in the wrong place and you don't know where it is, you can perform a search to find that file. If you press a space plus the letter F, and here it says again, it's our normal looking search field with that, those brackets and that small space for you to put something in. And I'm going to search for, let's see, I thought I had Great Expectations on here, but I could be wrong. Press enter. Yep. And the first thing that comes up here, it's a folder titled Great Expectations. And I just typed great as the search. So if I press the next thumb key, it's going to say Great Expectations, and this is probably the file, not the folder. I'm going to press a next thumb key, and this is another, I guess this must be the end of my search results because it's not giving me any more. So that's kind of a neat option. So, and I can escape those search results by pressing an space plus E, which is basically your escape. You can sort files and folders by different parameters, like you can do it alphabetically or other ways. Most people do it alphabetically, but some people prefer to do it by maybe the last one you've opened or by other ways. If you do a space plus the letter V, it's going to give you some choices here. Chameleon will display a list of sorting options that you have available, and the options are name, date, size, and type. So you're going to scroll through them like you normally would using your previous and next keys. So I can sort them by name. Here is size, date, and file type. So any one of these I could pick or close. So I want to sort them by, let's go with date. I'm going to press enter. And now I have books is on top, not because it's alphabetically first, but because it was last accessed or modified by me most recently. And I can continue to go through here, up documents, and yep, we have even more online books. It's kind of neat. You can do it that way. You can, if you do a space V, here we go. I want to sort it by name now. So I'm going to find name. Here we go. And I can press a cursor routing key on name, and that also does it besides just the enter button. You can also modify files and folders just like you would on a computer. You can rename them, you can create a new folder, and you can move files around if you need to. You would have to select and cut and copy them. We're going to go through that in a different video, which is a part 2 of this, because I feel like this is enough to get you started. And from the more advanced features, I hope you come back and see us next time. Thanks and have a great day.